once again. It worked for him once. Why not do it once again? I don't see any harm in that.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I wonder. I would love to see him be a little bit more aggressive this time, perhaps. Maybe he will be, like he was yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we're just going to have to get into the game and find out here. This is set number 2. Deer's up 1-0 up against GuMiho in the Neighbor Starleague. Let's jump into the game. Up at 1 o'clock, the red Protoss. He is up 1-0 so far from Samsung Galaxy Con. It is Deer.
And here at the 9 o'clock position, we do have the Terran player GuMiho from Invasion Esports. Currently down a game, currently getting crushed in game 1.
Yep.
Slammed. Oh, fan in the audience.
Yep, she's here almost every single day. Big fan. And I don't know, the tanks on King Sejong Station just did not work out for GuMiho. I feel like that was part of the reason. Like, a lot of his gas was going into tanks, whereas it could have been in going into, you know, possibly matching the upgrades of Deer.
Yeah.
You know, of course, if you are going up against a Protoss, the Protoss is going to be able to chrono boost out the upgrades a bit faster than you. But if you got double engineering bay running for a while, it is possible to keep up and not be that far behind.
Yeah, well, when it's like 3-3 to 1-0, like something went very wrong. And yeah, it really all hinged on that tank expedition down to behind the debris that just wasn't there anymore. So, and it's like Deer already had the army to deal with it. So
yeah.
There was really no hope for that kind of style to work. It's a nice gimmick, I guess you could say, in a way, or a nice style, but it can get kind of hard countered, just a little too hard.
And it got hard countered in that match, actually. That was like one of the weakest attacks I've seen in a long time. Just got cleaned up so easily. But going into this game, right away, we do see gas first out of GuMiho, which is something we do not see that often in TVP. And over on Deer's side, he got both of his gas, so he might be going for something tricky as well.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he does intend to do something a little more aggressive this game. Whether it be a Stargate, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, for now, in both of his gases, as I just saw, he's only got 2 guys in these scats, so it's actually not going to be that much more gas, just a little bit more. Makes it a little bit easier to transition right into tech after you get an expand. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, you don't want to cut your minerals too early on. It'll slow down your whole build, essentially. And you have enough gas for a Stargate if you want one. No, it's going to be Stalker and Mothership. Much smarter, to be honest. You'd never see a Stargate that early because this map screams Reaper Scout more than anything else.
Yeah, it does. But unfortunately here for GuMiho, he is not going to have that Scout as he has decided to just go for a very fast drop, it seems. Would have minds.
Yeah, he's going very, very aggressive. Very early drop.
This is about as fast as you can get it out.
There we go.
Gas first.
There's a Stargate that I was thinking of, but right at the back of the main. Still not a too large of a flight path to the main base of GuMiho, though he'd probably much rather use it to detect the Widow Mines that'll be dropping in his main.
Yeah. He's going to have to get that Scout down first, though, because as of now, he actually has no idea what GuMiho is doing. Mothership Core, it looks like, moving out on that map. But already 3 Marines in position at the bottom ramp at the natural. And he can move those in time to counter the positioning of that Mothership Core if it comes in.
Yeah, GuMiho really positioning his Widow Mine for any sort of Oracle play. We are seeing that Oracle go on the map. But I think, essentially, by the time the Oracle gets near the main base of GuMiho, he's going to be wanting to pick up that Widow Mine, put it in his mothership. Sorry, in his medivac. Not his mothership, his medivac.
That would be sick, man.
That'd be imbalanced.
I wish you could do that.
No, that'd be messed up. And then you might want to try and fly towards the Protoss. But he does have currently 2. And he does pick it up. So no longer does he have that Widow Mine.
Yeah.
For this Oracle, which can prove to be a bit of a problem. Doesn't look like Deer has any intention of turning around and using that Oracle to detect whatever's coming his way. Instead, he has a second one nearly finished.
Let's see how much damage this Oracle gets done. I think Deer sees everything. He's like, okay, I can't get too close. And already a lot of damage done. Actually, 5 SCVs going down. That's going to skyrocket here, actually. Time Warp is used instead of the Photon Overcharge. Pretty interesting. But that, that Widow Mine, it gets picked up at the last second.
It does. It gets killed by a probe, actually.
And now the probe's off the line, but already 13 SCVs have gone down. And I'm not sure if GuMiho is going to be able to match that amount of damage. He is focusing down the Stalker that has popped out. And that's pretty much Deer's last hope, but it's going to be enough. It seems, especially with that Phoenix,
Phoenix
coming in here.
Scare it off. And, economic advantage for Deer. No doubt about that. 25 probes to 14 SCVs.
It's huge. He's got his Nexus as well, whereas GuMiho's only making his now. So GuMiho is super far behind with this. Not quite getting the damage he wanted done. He got some damage done, but he just did not have the defense back at home. That Widow Mine just not in the correct position.
Nice plays from Deer once again. Still looking pretty solid. Looks like he really has rallied behind his losses in recent times and wants to make a good go of it today.
Yeah, man. This Protoss actually looks scary, to be honest. He is playing so well. Even sniping out that medevac now. May not even lose a single unit off of this if he does or that Stalker.
That was such an important kill as well, like removing that sort of threat on the map, because there's another one coming through his main, so he would have got double-pronged drops, and that is just so much harder to deal with.
And he just barely has enough energy here for that Photon Overcharge. He goes for it, the lift on the Widow Mine once again. We saw this out of Zaun the other day. It was very nicely done.
Finishes the job with the Photon Overcharge.
And now GuMiho, he's just looking for another place to drop, but I don't think it's going to work. Warp Gate is done, and your second medevac is going to go down. This Widow Mine is trying to get some damage down, but it gets lifted again.
Beautiful. Absolutely perfect lift. Is he going to have enough DPS to get rid of it before it comes back down is the next question. It's planning.
The probes, they get it. And the last Marine is going to go down as well. A third drop is on the way now. And man, I don't know. GuMiho is just not finding damage with these drops.
He's not. This Phoenix just hard counted everything. And we have a second Phoenix as well. Runs into the Medivac. Deer turns it around. He doesn't have enough for a Photon Overcharge in the main base, but he is warping in a Stalker.
2 Phoenixes get a lot of damage done to that Medivac, but this time another lift comes down here. Will pick up that Widow Mine, and even just a Zealot and a Stalker should be enough here to clean this up pretty nicely. The Phoenix is going to kill that Medivac on the way out.
Oh, wow. Just everything.
I think Deer lost a Zealot in that fight. I think that's what he lost, whereas GuMiho lost the entire thing, as you were saying.
46 probes to 27 SCVs at this point. Level 1 armor is being upgraded. 2 more racks being added for GuMiho. He's trying to get his production online, and he is going for his next drop. Is this drop number 4 or 5, Valdez? I can't remember.
I think this is number 4, but that's still a very heavy number of drops, especially when they're not getting much damage done. But this time, Deer not quite in the same position. Widow Mine is going to come down. Is it going to get a shot off? It is only on 1. No, he's going to unburrow. And he's going to re-burrow over here. But now that the Observer is in place, should be just fine. Only gets 1 kill. Now some Marines trying to come in at the natural. They are getting some damage done here. 4. And he's going to pick up and leave.
Okay.
So a little bit boost.
A little bit better.
Boost away.
Man, even boost doesn't work against Phoenix. And Phoenix should be able to lift them all up and kill them.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa. Ooh. Doesn't have enough for the last one.
This is just very consistent dropping out of GuMiho.
Yeah. We aren't seeing any more Phoenix added, so I was going to wonder if we actually are going to see perhaps Phoenix Colossi. But he is adding the Colossus now. Just 1 with Thermal. So it looks like he will be going for that 3rd base, because if you were going to go for anything sort of 2-base oriented, you wouldn't really go for the Thermal Lance.
Yeah. And now, even with 3 Phoenixes out, it's going to be pretty easy to stop the drops. We do see 1 going towards that 3rd base. And GuMiho is going to be able to get the scout on the 3rd base. I'm not sure what Deer's got back at home, actually, to defend against that. Turrets are not yet up, and 3 Phoenixes with a lot of energy are able to get some damage done.
Still, that means they're at the other side of the map. Cannon in place. Gateway units in place.
Did GuMiho actually not see that 3rd base, or is he just trying to come in here and do damage?
He saw it. He saw it. I think he's just looking for probes there.
Yeah. But unfortunately, okay, maybe this drop will do some damage coming into the main. Has Deer noticed it? No, it doesn't look like it. The shot gets off, and 5 probes in damage.
There we go.
Now the Marine's going to come down here, try to get some damage done. Focusing down that Widow Mine first.
They're actually getting considerable amount of probes in the main base with this attack.
Yeah, GuMiho doing a very nice job of just this counter-pronged harass. Even though his first, like, 2 or 3 drops didn't do much damage, they're starting to find some damage somewhere because, especially with Deer taking the third base, he's a bit more split up. And he was transitioning into the Colossi, so he didn't have a ton of units. And finding some damage there, he will even up the worker count here at 49 to 49.
I think it was a bit of a mistake from Deer to be moving out the map with these Phoenixes, considering how consistent GuMiho was with his dropping. He was essentially, every time he had enough units for a drop, he would be dropping again and again and again. So I don't think it's really worth the damage you could possibly do with Phoenixes in the enemy base. And now we are seeing Biomine move towards the third base, identified by an observer.
And this is a pretty puny force. Already 2 Colossi are out with Thermal Lance. And yeah, it doesn't look like GuMiho wants to take that fight just yet. And actually, Deer's going to force it here. GuMiho's got to back off. And 2 more drops on the way.
We're seeing Deer fully saturated on 3 base at this point. GuMiho has only just finished. And now GuMiho rotating with those double medivacs towards the third base. There's already a cannon in place at the back. And the gateway, or the army in general, is not far behind.
Yep, that's actually not the real army. This Mothership Core is going to put down the Nexus Cannon, but that is 2 medivacs full of units here. Widowmine is going to go down. How's the shot? It's decent. Getting 2 probes and a third one there with that second Widowmine. Going to drop on the edge over here, as well as coming in at the third base. But as you were saying, that cannon is back there. He's going to try to focus that down.
Yeah, not too hard with that many bios. Same time, the main drop got fended off. Now the third does as well. And this is like the strong suit of GuMiho that I was talking to you about a little bit earlier, Valdez. He's just so good with this constant multi-prong drops, multi-prong harassment, just constantly going on the map.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, Deer with those 3 Phoenixes is able to clean that up. Uh-oh! A huge amount of damage done there. I think a couple of sentries as well as a Stalker going down.
That was huge.
Wow. And once again, GuMiho coming into the main. And the Mothership Core does not have enough energy here for that Nexus Cannon. An Immortal pops out. That's going to help in the defense, as well as some Zealots that get warped in. Phoenix is coming back. They lift up that Widowmine.
And should have enough to kind of clean up. Could see another drop into the third base sometime soon if GuMiho wanted to. Bio staying alive just for a little bit longer. Gets the Mothership Core as well. I think you just got to keep those Phoenix on patrol in the main base or something, because they should not be getting in and again and again.
Here we go. Another drop at the third. Unfortunately, with a lot of gateways powered now, he's going to be able to warp in enough units. And the question remains now, is Deer's army too strong after all that harass? Because GuMiho is doing a lot of economic damage, but he doesn't have the biggest army count.
Oh, the Vikings. He needs these Vikings. He got to be forward to losing to sentries and a Stalker. His Viking count is so low at this moment. 3 in general. 3 in total.
But at the same time, Deer doesn't have much in the air. Where are those Phoenixes? I think he's only got 2 now. Needs to warp in some Stalkers possibly to deal with that. Oh, and uh-oh. Medivac getting caught out here full of units. It does survive for now, 10 health.
Phoenixes, they're coming.
Just got to drop out of the Medivac. Oh, no.
Oh. Same time, a drop is going to the main base. 3 Medivacs full. No feedbacks yet. Here they come. No, they don't.
No feedbacks, and a lot of Zealots do get warped in, but like you were saying, that is 3, and look at this. A lot of Vikings able to catch out 1 Colossus here, and still this drop hasn't been dealt with in the main. Okay, a Storm comes out. Should be enough, as well as some feedbacks here. The Vikings, though, they're getting so much damage done to these Colossi. There's no protection.
He just reset the Colossus count with 6 Vikings in an awkward position over a cliff. I mean, it can happen on this map. We've seen it time and time again on this map, but still, those Vikings were completely undefended as well. They had nothing on the ground. They simply decided to flatten to the middle of the map and do the job.
Yeah, man. GuMiho is somehow finding a way right now to get some damage done.
It is actually ridiculous. And while this is all happening, he's dropping a mine into the third base. Does get detected. Stays alive for now.
For now, he's trying to get out of range, it looks like, of the cannon's detection.
And he does.
And now Deer, he's pushing out once again on the map. I don't see any High Templars in this mix.
See some Archons at the back. That's a lot of Immortals. 5 Immortals with this composition. So he's kind of going for what he did last game. And still, no Ghost just yet. 3 in making.
Yeah. And if we look at the upgrades for a bit here, we do have 2-2 about to finish up here for Deer, whereas 2-2 is only on the way here for GuMiho. So a whole set of upgrades ahead is Deer if he wants to go for an attack. He has a lot of Immortals, those Archons at the back. And it looks like he's just using the High Templar right now, possibly for defense in his main against some drops while going for this attack.
Sees the Widow Mines, decides to back off just for the moment.
Okay, I saw this High Templar in the back. He's got 4. Where are the Ghosts of GuMiho? Going to be very important to get those EMPs down. For now, he's doing a really nice job of kiting, even snipes an Archon here.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage considering. And yeah, there they are. They have Storm. We do see a stim in. And here we go, Deer looking for it.
Widowmine shots are decent. But again, a lot of those Zealots do survive for now. Where the Storm's not quite able to get them down. Still a lot of Protoss down here in a really nice concave. Going against that Terran that's just stuck there on the ramp.
Oh, really nice. Oh, massive Storm. Keeping those Templars just at the back as far as he can to avoid any sort of EMP for the last second. And I think GuMiho, he might have just ran out of steam at this point. There's still at least 2 Storms left. It's going to take a lot more damage and a lot more pain to get through this army.
Ghost Academy goes down. Probe actually setting off one of the Widow Mines back there, but there are a couple more. But they will all be cleaned up, and that CC looking really close to going down. All those Immortals, man, just focusing it down. Another Storm goes down onto the rest of the bio that's on the ramp, as well as warping in a bunch of Zealots at that 3rd base. Another huge Storm, and GG is called.
Wow. So Deer survives the insane onslaught of drops from GuMiho to posture up for a great attack with Storm, Immortal, Archon, Zealot.
That was a really fun game, man. That was non-stop action.
That was really intense. And we definitely saw GuMiho turn it on that second game. You know, he kind of got into his rhythm. Despite losing countless drops, he still just kept going, and finding ways in.
Yeah, a really, really fun game. But as we kind of expected, Deer does get out here into the winner's match. GuMiho will go down. And our second matchup is going to be Rogue versus Myungshik. Myungshik was able to cheese out Rogue in Pro League one time with the 6-gate Oracle all in on 2 base. And in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen again.
No, I think Rogue will be much more prepared this time, much more cautious of the cheesy style that Myungshik has. And yeah, I definitely favoring Rogue to win this one as well. And yeah, he should be ready for revenge, I think.
Yeah, man. And the winner of that one is going to go up against Deer. Deer looking really, really strong against Terran, but of course he's got to go against either a Zerg or a Protoss here. That's the interesting thing about this group is that we have 2 Protosses, 1 Terran, 1 Zerg, so a lot of these players have to practice for a lot of different matchups. I guess the Zerg and the Terran player having a bit of an easier time, only having to go up against 2, right? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Protoss Terran for the Zerg and Protoss Zerg for the Terran, so
yeah,
makes sense.
Exactly.
Well, we are going to go to a 3-minute break before we get to that match, Rogue versus Myungshik. After the break, stay tuned.